So I had a little chat with someone interesting today, and I came to a interesting conclusion with how and what I'm going to be talking about today. Don't pay attention to the sounds outside. It's just the city life. And so I came up with a quote. I don't know exactly if anybody has said this in the past before, but it goes, if you fly too close to the sun, or if you stand too close to the sun, you might get burnt, or you might not be able to withstand the heat. And so this is true because I've been interacting with way more people on a day-to-day basis around me, like just going down the streets, talking to people in the coffee shop, talking to people at the gym, talking to people that just bump into me in the street, and just random people. And I just, like, they might like leave a comment on me. Like, for instance, there was this I guess this construction guy. He was walking down the street and he saw me and he went, "Looking good, bro." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it." And so I just went about my day. But like, every single little interaction like that just reinforces your own confidence that what you are doing is actually the right thing. And so I also had a few chats with a few different people that asked me like, "Oh yeah, I'm really like inspired by by people like you who like dress sharp, who make sure, well, not necessarily dress sharp with a sweatshirt, but like they always have, like whenever I go out and I wear my suit, or whenever I go out and I make sure like I get a haircut, got a haircut yesterday, make sure I'm trimmed, groomed, everything looks good and feels good to me when I'm going out." So I made a little bit of a video on this subject yesterday, if you want to go check it out, to improve yourself, and the three, like I think 4 main things you need to focus on if you want to be more appealing on the outside, I guess you could say. And so I was talking to this guy and he was asking me like, "Oh yeah, I'm really inspired by people like you, and I really want to get into finance or like business or entrepreneurship or whatever. What would be your advice for someone like me who's 17 years old, still going to school and still living with my parents, all that kind of stuff?" And I was like, well, I gave him exactly what I give most people who ask me this question, just to see, like, give them a test of who they actually are in terms of quality. Are they going to go through with this request that I've made, or are they going to just crumble and just be like, I can't be fucked doing this, too hard? It's a really good indicator test to see who people actually are, in which this test was, sit down in a room with a pen and a paper for as long as you can and just write out, what do you want? Not what somebody else said, what do you want? And just be as detailed and as specific as you can. And then tomorrow, look at it again. Make some changes, make some improvements. Next day, look at it again, do it again. Next week, do it again. Next month, do it again. Next year, do it again. And the more you do this, the more you'll find yourself seeing that you are actually changing while you're taking action. This checklist of these things that you've written down is actually changing in real time. And that is the proof that you are changing. And if this never changes, then you are not going fast enough, you are not doing good enough. And so I was having a chat with him, and I noticed that some of the people that had added me on Instagram had actually, I guess, unfollowed me or blocked me, or I don't know, not really sure exactly what happened. But it's weird because it's people that I've met within the past month, and or like within the past 2 months, and I've added them on Instagram, and they've just decided, I don't know for what reason, to just block me or to just, I guess, unfollow me. And I think it stems from the fact that I am living my life at the fullest of its extent. Like, I'm using everything at my disposal to make myself look as good as possible on the outside, and on the inside feel as good as possible. And so both of those things combined are a very powerful tool. And basically all the people around me either want to be around me more, or they want to get as far away from me as possible. And it's kind of like this analogy of when you are close to the sun, you need to be able to withstand the heat or embrace it. Because if you're too close to the sun and you feel like shit, then the sun is just there to shine light on your incompetency, shine light on your problems, shine light on the fact that you are not enough at where you currently are, what stage you are. Diogenes the Cynic, my father talked to me about him and said I should really read one of his books, because this is exactly what he was talking about. He did not care about making friends, he cared more about helping people and improving their lives. And then if he got some friends along the way, then great. If he didn't, then he didn't care. The whole point was to make people around him do better, feel better, improve their lives. And that's what I've been doing. Whenever I meet someone, I do my best to make sure everybody that interacts with me walks away with a lesson, a powerful, I guess, emotion, a source of inspiration or motivation. Yeah. So my point is not to be friends with everybody. My point is to find the right people who will resonate the most with my message, that I will not stand for average. If I see someone vaping in my vicinity, I'll that I know, that I've talked to before, I'll tell them, hey, you shouldn't vape. Don't do that. Stop vaping. It's not good for you. Your skin would look way better if you didn't vape. You would look way younger if you stopped smoking. You would look more vibrant. You wouldn't be so stressed out. You wouldn't be so addicted. You wouldn't pay attention more to the vape than to your friends. Many different things. And it reveals the, I guess, insecurities and the uncomfortable truths about themselves by the simple fact that I am there. And so, by stating, if you stand too close to the sun, you will get burnt, or you might get burnt by the heat if you don't embrace it. That is completely true. Because every single person I've interacted with is either two types of people. Either people who want to be more around me, who want to invite me to dinner, or who want to make me meet their family, or who want to go out with me, or who want to, and this includes men and women. The other thing, the other type of person is the person who wants to get the furthest away from me and he doesn't want to talk to me at all. And that is just because their ego is better, is bigger than their actual, I guess, drive to be better. Their drive to be better is smaller than their ego. And so their ego is getting in the way. Whenever they see me, they see, oh, how the fuck is this guy, 23 years old, so advanced and more advanced than I am? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, shouldn't I be more advanced than he is? Am I not enough right now? Am I not the kind of person that I believe I should be better than this guy? And you aren't. Let me just tell you, you're not. I'm nobody special, but you're not better than I am. I am part of the 1% of people in your environment. I am barely a statistic. That, to be perfectly honest, I'm not talking about financial riches or wealth, but in terms of genetics and in terms of mental mindset beliefs and in terms of like work ethic, I'm part of the 0.1%. There's not that many people on earth that do the kind of stuff I do. There's not that many people on earth who are born with like higher intellect and the drive to be different. Like, you can mold yourself into this type of person, but not everybody wants to do that. That's what I've noticed. So when you are on this path of self-improvement, you need to choose for yourself. Are you going to go all the way? Or are you just going to go until you hit that comfort zone, and then you're just going to be like, I'm kind of improving, but at the same time, I don't want to look deeper. I don't want to look at the super deep insecurities. I'll tell you right now this story. I looked at my deepest, darkest desires and insecurities and pain points about myself, and I fixed them by looking in the mirror and being like, this is shit, and I can't do this no more. And then I put into action a plan and worked on it every single day of my life for the past 4 years. I'll give you a few examples of the things I used to struggle with. I have a very high, and this is extremely personal. Nobody would share this. Nobody feels, this is like, I do not feel great about sharing this. But it's part of who I am. I've accepted it. I don't care. I used to be addicted in the past. I have a very high sex drive. So I used to be addicted to pornography in the past. I used to just like go at it all day, every day. And like when I was in high school, every single day I would just fucking do that. Be a degenerate. And it's disgusting. It's actually repulsive. Not only to myself, but also to the men and women I interact with. It's disgusting. It's not respectful to my future wife as well. So obviously, why the fuck am I just doing that, you know? And so one day I looked at the facts about, okay, why the fuck do I keep going back to this shit? And I asked GPT, it didn't tell me a good answer. So I was like, this is shit, there's a filter on it. And because it told me like a bullshit response, like, just doing it, like just masturbating with pornography like 3 or 4 times a week is fine. It was like, that's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm looking for, why is this happening? Why do I keep going back to this? And how can I just stop? And so I asked, I think Grok. Yeah, Grok gave me the best answer because it has no filter. It's Twitter AI. It's XAI. So it has no filter. And I asked Grok, and Grok told me, well, it's because it's making you go in this loop, basically, where you feel great. And so it's short-term validation. It's an addiction, right? And so what you need to do is you need to replace that with as many things as possible that make your life better. First off, and this is how I did it to no longer fucking watch that fucking rubbish, is first off, I started hating the fact that I was doing it. So every time I would do it, I would be like, this feels like shit, bro. I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't even feel pleasurable anymore. The hatred was like a level higher than the pleasure, you know? And so I just did that first. Second, I understood how my brain worked. I did some research. I did some studying. I watched some videos on YouTube to understand exactly how my brain worked. So that way I knew how my brain worked, what emotions happened, how the science behind my feelings is, how it works, how am I getting triggered, how am I not getting triggered, all those things. And I put as many roadblocks in my way to doing that, like, depraved act in front of me, so that now I can actually channel that drive, that sexual energy into my relationships, my work. I'm growing my own business on a day-to-day basis. I've basically just vanquished this emotion. I've conquered it. It's no longer a thing anymore. That's a problem. I've solved the problem because I found the answer. And the answer comes from hard work and understanding why. And I've always asked why. And so this is not the only thing. I used to be addicted to video games. if you've been watching this channel for quite some time, I've already talked about the fact that I was addicted to video games. I used to play them professionally, like 16 hours a day, if not more. Just negate sleep, eat shit food, drink energy drinks even though I'm not fucking working out or doing anything substantially interesting. So at the end of the day, what did I do? I figured out my biggest weaknesses and I put together a plan to fix it. And even though it didn't fix itself within a couple of days, and it might have taken me a month, 2 months, 12 months, 2 years to fix it, I still fixed it. The second thing is focusing on something that is way more important, that I know is more important than this short-term bullshit. In this case, it was my business, it was my relationships, it was my friends, my family, my girlfriends of the time, whatever. It's not that hard. I'm just a fucking human, alright? Like, I'm not, like, I can give you all this speech about I'm 0.1% of the population by birth, but it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a human. Just like you. And you can do what I've done. Very simple. If one human has done, you can do it too. You're not limited. You're not limited by you have an unspeakable, unobtainable talent that you were born with and nobody can get it. No. Sure, I was born with a different set of cards that you do, but that doesn't mean you can't achieve what I've achieved. You can create a business from scratch. You don't need money to start it. You can do all these things. You can be a better version of yourself, an inspirational son. And people will start orbiting around you because they want to be around you. Your magnetic presence is great when you do this. But you need to be the kind of guy that leads by example. You need to first fix yourself and respect yourself and create a life for yourself that you can respect first. You need to have that self-esteem and that confidence so that you can go up to people and you can be like, if you like me, good for you. If you don't, I don't care. That's what you need. Because at the end of the day, everybody is just a human. And we can all do the same things as each other. Some people might have a higher level of intellect. Some people might have a more physically appealing body or face. Some people might be more attractive than others. Some people might be better extroverts than introverted. But at the end of the day, you can change. I used to be the shy, introverted kid that used to stress the fuck out at every single oral presentation, like in front of my classroom. And now, I just talk to random people on the street. I ask women out that I find beautiful, that I want to go out with. I create my life the way I want to live it. Because I choose to let nothing limit my ascent. I have no limitations. And even if there might be some people that are going to get themselves in my way, I don't care. I will find a way or make one. That's the best sentence you'll ever fucking hear today. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. It's a beautiful day. It's time to get back to work. So like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you guys watching until the end of the video. As per usual, I will see you in the next one as I post every single day, and I will see you around.